Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to talk about the single most important upgrade you could possibly make to your kit, tactical upgrades, tactical considerations, whatever you want to call it. And it's not training, it's not PT, it's not a rifle, optic, night vision, comms, none of that stuff. It is taking care of underlying medical conditions. So if you follow the channel, you'll notice I haven't uploaded anything in a few weeks, and that's because I'm dealing with that. I've had surgery and I've got another surgery coming up. So shooting content's going to be kind of sparse, but I'm taking care of underlying health conditions that I've had for some time and just didn't want to deal with. And so I'll go through my logic on why this is the single most important thing you can do before anything else. So by all DoD standards, I am more than capable to deploy, fight, those type of things. However, on a personal accountability level, I know I have issues. And particularly, I have carpal tunnel pretty severely in both hands, and that limits the things that I can do for long durations of time. I'll get numbness in one hand and extreme pain in the other, and it got to the point that it affected my ability to shoot, affected my ability to maneuver, and things like that. But yet, military says, hey, you can still go do things, but I know that I struggle because of those underlying conditions. In addition to that, I've got some issues with my elbow and forearm that prevent me from even fully extending my weak arm, which is now my only option right now, and it causes issues when firing semi-automatic handguns. So those are issues that for the past several years I've just kind of wrote off and put to the side. You know, I'll get to it when I'm older, I'll get to it when I have downtime, things like that. And that kind of thinking is really dangerous, because when you need to get to it, you might not be able to. So another example of this would be LASIK. Now, in this summer, I came up with some money. We sold a house. I had some extra money left over, and I decided to get LASIK instead of going the route of getting some new plates, some night vision, and things like that. And it's a really simple reason. I use my vision all the time, and just like night vision at night, to see, you need that, and your night vision could fail, just like glasses could fail, but you're using those all the time. And most tactical or adverse conditions, you don't want to be wearing contacts, you want to be wearing glasses. Well, if it rains, you have problems. If it's humid, you have problems. You can't see very well. They could get scuffed, damaged, lost, things like that. In addition, if you're using night vision or a scope and it's in that humid environment or even cold, it's going to fog up. Also, unless you want to buy prescription sunglasses, you're going to limit your visibility during bright light as well. So it was a no-brainer to get the LASIK, but I see a lot of guys who wear glasses and contacts getting night vision, getting the next scope, all this new gear, and I'm just scratching my head like, why would you do that? Because at the end of the day, for about the same money, you can get 20/20 vision, for most people anyway, 20/20 vision, and use that all the time. And then I'm not dependent on a cheap piece of plastic with lenses that can scratch or get muddy or foggy or things like that. In addition, if you are somebody that wears glasses and you're running night vision, particularly if you live in the South, you know that humidity is a huge issue. If you've got glasses, then your night vision, and then you're looking through a red dot as well, there's a lot of things that can fog and cause you to not be able to effectively fight. So LASIK is a huge upgrade. And if you're one of those that's like, oh, I've got money saved up, I'm going to get this new scope, this new rifle, invest in this training, I would encourage you to consult with an optometrist, get LASIK, so that you're more viable in almost any environment. You're going to be more capable and more valuable to your teammates if you get those things taken care of. Now, is it a requirement for anything? No, but it just makes sense, and you use it all the time, versus that night vision. You're going to use it at night at most 50% of the time, which you're not going to use it that much. So take care of yourself. Same thing, if you know that you have underlying health conditions like I did, I just kept putting it off. I never did get my wrists looked at, and it got to the point that I just wasn't as effective as I used to be. Well, get that stuff looked at and taken care of while you can, because you don't know if you're going to be able to tomorrow. When you need to be at full strength, if you get called up to fight, if you get put in a situation, you want to be as effective as possible. And while the training's extremely important, and the physical conditioning and the new gear and all that stuff has its place, being able to get to that 100% level is far more important and valuable to your teammates, to your family, and to yourself. Another thing that it does is it gives you the opportunity to train in areas that you wouldn't normally train in. I'm right-handed. Obviously, my right hand's out of commission right now. So that leaves me with my weak hand. as mentioned earlier, I can't fully extend. It's extremely painful. And what I found out is that semi-automatics, at least my carry gun and my full-size handguns, are extremely vulnerable to stoppages because I can't fully extend. It's limp wristing, causes malfunctions. It's hard to clear malfunctions one-handed. It can be done, but it's not optimal, especially when you're having multiple malfunctions per magazine. So that led me to carry a revolver for the time being because they're not picky to limp wristing. It's also forced me to shoot more left-handed, to include rifles. Now, something like this, that's a little much for me to shoot left-handed because I have weak arm strength in this hand due to my injuries. However, 10-22, yeah, it's probably the last thing I would choose for self-defense, but it's fairly high capacity, it's low recoil, and I can brace it on this arm and actually shoot pretty well with it. And so it's an option. It's not the best option, but it has forced me to get back into the rimfire game. It has forced me to sharpen up skills that I don't otherwise utilize. So just because you're going to be out of the fight for a little while doesn't mean that you still can't train. Just make sure you don't go above and beyond and hurt yourself. I'm sure if my surgeon saw me in this right now, he'd probably amputate this hand next time he sees me. So, you know, it is what it is. Stay within the confines of your limitations, you know, stay within the confines of your injuries, don't hurt yourself, but use it as an opportunity to train. So guys, if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'm going to be out of commission for the next few weeks, so video is going to be sparse. I'll try to get in some shorts, maybe some EDC type gear that's more of talking points than shooting, unfortunately, but I'll try to put some content out in my downtime. And guys, as always, stay free and take care of yourself. So for those wondering, this is not my go-to-war kit by any means. What this is a kit that serves two purposes for me. The first one, it's just my bump in the night kit. If I had time to throw on a plate carrier, this is next to the bed, and it's primarily, in my school of thought, for something messing with farm animals. I can throw this on, I have extra food for my rifle, and I have some threat protection in case it's a two-legged critter that's trespassing. So that's role number one. Role number two that this primarily gets used for is PT or exercise. So I do a lot of jogging, and I like to throw this on because they're steel plates, which are subpar for protection. However, they're a great training tool because they're heavier than ceramics, and being steel, I don't have to worry about them breaking down over time like ceramics. I don't have to worry about being gentle with them or anything like that, or a shelf life. I can just throw these on and go. The carrier is a AR-500. I don't remember which one it is. It's a light carrier though, and then what I've done is put a cummerbund on it, and then I tuck my EDC pistol, which is a SIG 365 XL with a light and red dot on it, and then I threw a Benchmade SOCP dagger just for the hell of it. I don't generally run with my rifle because I like to run on the roads, but this does give me some protection, and if I really feel like it, I can throw an extra mag in. I live in a rural area. It's dark when I run in the mornings, so I like to have something with me. Now, you'll notice I don't have an IFAK, I don't have comms, none of that other stuff. That's not what the intended purpose of this is. This is just literally to work out in. The most I'll do is maybe throw a CamelBak on for a water source. So that's really what this kit is. Just threw it on for the video. But if you guys are looking for an inexpensive plate carrier and plates to run just for training purposes, I really recommend steel plates for that. But you should have a set of ceramics for the real deal should you need it. So guys, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Again, stay free and take care of yourself, which means hydrate.